Hello, I'm really glad you're here today. Just take a quiet moment, wherever you are. Maybe you've had a long day. Maybe your mind feels a little heavy. Or maybe you're just searching for something you can't fully explain.
Yes, and if that's how you feel, you're not alone. Today, we're talking about something very deep, something very personal, something many people struggle with silently. We're talking about loving yourself.
Now, that phrase sounds simple, doesn't it? Love yourself. We hear it everywhere. But when you sit quietly with it, it doesn't always feel easy.
Sometimes it feels confusing. Sometimes it even feels impossible. Because how do you love yourself when you keep noticing your mistakes, your flaws, your fears?
I remember a time in my life when I was very hard on myself. No matter what I did, it never felt enough. If I made a mistake, I would replay it again and again in my mind.
I relate to that so much. I used to compare myself to others constantly. Would think, why am I not like them? Why am I not better? And slowly, without realizing it, I stopped appreciating who I was.
And that's where it begins, isn't it? Not in big moments, but in small thoughts. The way we talk to ourselves, quietly, every day.
So today, let's explore this gently, not with pressure, not with perfection, just slowly, like a calm conversation. And we'll also learn English through this, using simple, meaningful sentences you can understand and use.
Let's begin with a simple sentence. I am learning to love myself. Say it softly.
I am learning to love myself.
This sentence is powerful. Notice the word learning. It means you don't have to be perfect at it. You're growing.
Yes, because loving yourself is not something that happens in one day. It's a process, a journey. You can also say, I am trying to be kinder to myself.
That word kinder, it's very important because many times we're kind to others, but not to ourselves. Let's pause for a moment and think. How do you talk to yourself when you make a mistake? Do you say, I'm not good enough? I always fail?
Or can you slowly learn to say, it's okay. I'm still learning. I can try again.
These small sentences, they change something inside you.
So let's practice together. I made a mistake, but I can learn from it.
Again, slowly. I made a mistake, but I can learn from it.
This is how self-love begins, not with big actions, but with small, gentle thoughts.
I want to share something personal. There was a time when I didn't like myself at all. I focused only on what I couldn't do, what I wasn't good at. And one day, I asked myself a simple question. What if I spoke to myself the way I speak to a friend?
That question can change everything. Because think about it. When your friend is struggling, you don't say, you're useless. You say, it's okay. I'm here.
So, why don't we say that to ourselves? Let's learn another simple sentence. I am enough.
Just that. I am enough.
It might feel strange at first. Maybe you don't fully believe it yet. That's okay. Say it anyway.
Because sometimes belief comes after repetition. Let's say it together again. I am enough.
Now, let's make a slightly longer sentence. I am not perfect, but I am enough.
That's real. That's honest.
You don't need to be perfect to deserve kindness, especially from yourself.
Let's talk about another feeling, comparison. This is something many people struggle with. You see others, their success, their confidence, their life, and you start comparing.
And when you compare, you often feel smaller.
I used to do this all the time. I would look at others and think they are better than me, but I forgot something important.
Everyone is on their own journey.
Yes, and your journey is not less important.
Let's learn a sentence for this. I am on my own journey.
Again, I am on my own journey.
This sentence reminds you, you don't have to rush, you don't have to compare.
You just have to keep going.
Now, let's connect these ideas into a small reflection. I am learning to love myself. I am not perfect, but I am enough. I am on my own journey.
That's not just English practice, that's self-healing.
Let's slow down again. Take a breath.
And just listen to your own thoughts.
Are they kind?
Or are they too hard on you?
If they are hard, that's okay. You can change them slowly.
Because self-love is not about suddenly feeling amazing.
It's about choosing again and again to treat yourself with care.
Let's learn another simple sentence. I am trying my best.
Say it slowly. I am trying my best.
This sentence removes pressure. It reminds you effort matters.
And sometimes your best is not perfect, but it's still enough.
I remember days when I felt tired, unmotivated, and I thought I was failing. But then I realized even resting is part of trying.
Yes, you don't have to be strong every day.
You just have to be honest with yourself.
Let's bring everything together into a small self-introduction, but this time from a place of self-love. Hi, I'm Emma. I'm still learning and growing. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying my best. I'm learning to be kinder to myself.
And mine is, hi, I'm Daniel. I'm on my own journey. I make mistakes, but I learn from them. I'm trying to become more confident and accept myself.
Do you feel the difference? This isn't just an introduction, it's self-acceptance.
And maybe for the first time, you're not trying to sound impressive.
You're just trying to be real.
And that is powerful.
Let's sit with one last sentence for now. I deserve kindness.
Say it slowly. I deserve kindness.
Not from others only,
But from yourself, too.
because the way you treat yourself shapes everything.
And this is where your journey begins.
Not outside,
But inside,
one thought at a time,
one sentence at a time.
learning not just English.
But learning to love yourself.
There's something very quiet, but very powerful that begins to happen when you start speaking kindly to yourself.
At first, it feels unfamiliar, almost uncomfortable, like you're saying something you don't fully believe yet.
Yes, it can feel strange because for so long, many of us have been used to the opposite. We've been used to criticizing ourselves, doubting ourselves, even ignoring our own feelings.
And when that becomes a habit, kindness feels unnatural.
But here's the truth. Anything repeated often becomes natural, even kindness.
So today, let's continue gently, not by forcing big changes, but by understanding small ones.
Let's start with a simple idea, acceptance.
Acceptance means seeing yourself clearly without running away, without pretending, and without being too harsh.
You can say, I accept myself as I am.
Try saying it slowly. I accept myself as I am.
This sentence doesn't mean you stop growing. It means you stop fighting yourself.
Yes, because growth becomes easier when it comes from acceptance, not from pressure.
I remember a time when I kept trying to change everything about myself. The way I spoke, the way I behaved, even the way I thought.
And I felt exhausted because you are trying to become someone else instead of understanding who you already are.
Exactly. And one day I realized I don't need to reject myself to improve. I can accept myself and still grow.
That's a powerful realization.
Let's learn another simple sentence. I am growing at my own pace.
Again, I am growing at my own pace.
That word pace means speed, your speed, not someone else's.
Because one of the biggest reasons we feel unhappy is this. We think we are too slow.
But slow does not mean wrong.
Slow means steady, careful, thoughtful.
Let's build a small reflection. I accept myself as I am. I am growing at my own pace.
Now, let's talk about something many people feel, but don't always express. That feeling of not being good enough.
Yes, that quiet voice that says you should be better, you should do more, you are not enough.
If you've ever felt that, just know you're not alone.
And you can gently respond to that voice.
You can say, I am doing what I can.
Or, I am enough even as I learn.
Let's practice. I am enough even as I learn.
That sentence is soft but strong.
Because it accepts where you are and still allows growth.
I remember a time when I kept trying to change everything about myself. The way I spoke, the way I behaved, even the way I thought.
And I felt exhausted because you are trying to become someone else instead of understanding who you already are.
Exactly. And one day I realized I don't need to reject myself to improve. I can accept myself and still grow.
That's a powerful realization.
Let's learn another important part of self-love: rest.
Many people feel guilty when they rest. They think, I should be doing more.
But rest is not weakness, it's necessary.
You can say, I allow myself to rest.
See it slowly. I allow myself to rest.
This sentence gives you permission to pause, to breathe, to take care of yourself.
I remember a time when I worked too much. I thought if I stopped, I would fall behind.
But instead, I became tired, frustrated, and unhappy.
And when you finally allowed yourself to rest,
I feel lighter, clearer, more like myself again.
because taking care of yourself is part of loving yourself.
Let's connect these ideas. I am doing my best, I am growing at my own pace, and I allow myself to rest.
Now, let's move into something a bit deeper: forgiveness.
This can be difficult because sometimes we hold on to our past mistakes.
We remember things we said, things we did, moments we wish we could change.
And we keep replaying them again and again.
But self-love also means letting go.
You can say, I forgive myself for my mistakes.
Try it slowly. I forgive myself for my mistakes.
This doesn't mean the mistake didn't matter,
It means you choose not to punish yourself forever.
because you are human.
And being human means making mistakes, learning, and moving forward.
I remember one mistake I kept thinking about for years. It made me feel ashamed.
What changed?
One day I asked myself, if someone else made this mistake, would I forgive them? And the answer was yes.
So why not forgive yourself?
Exactly.
Let's build another gentle introduction, this time with acceptance and forgiveness. Hi, I'm Emma. I'm learning to accept myself. I'm not perfect, but I'm growing. I forgive myself for my mistakes, and I'm trying to be kinder every day.
And mine, hi, I'm Daniel. I'm on my own journey. I make mistakes, but I learn from them. I'm growing at my own pace, and I'm learning to accept who I am.
Do you feel the shift? There's less pressure, less fear, more understanding.
That's what self-love feels like. Not loud, not dramatic, but calm and steady.
Let's pause again. Take a slow breath.
And ask yourself quietly,
Can I be a little kinder to myself today?
not perfect, just a little kinder.
Maybe in the way you speak to yourself.
Maybe in the way you rest.
Maybe in the way you forgive yourself.
Because these small moments, they matter.
They slowly change how you see yourself.
And one day, without even noticing,
You stop being your biggest critic,
and you become your own support,
your own safe place.
your own quiet strength,
And it all begins:
with one gentle sentence.
I accept myself. There is a quiet kind of strength, the kind that doesn't make noise, doesn't try to prove anything, doesn't rush. It grows slowly, deep inside you, when you begin to understand yourself instead of fighting yourself.
Yes, and that understanding is a very important part of loving yourself, because sometimes we don't dislike ourselves. We just don't know ourselves.
That's such a powerful thought. Many people spend years trying to become someone else without ever asking, who am I really?
So, today, let's explore that gently. Not with pressure, not with big answers, but with simple questions and simple English.
Let's begin with a very basic sentence. I am learning about myself.
Say it slowly. I am learning about myself.
This sentence opens a door. It tells your mind you don't need to have all the answers right now. You are discovering.
And discovery takes time. It takes patience. It takes honesty.
Let's go a little deeper. You can also say, I am trying to understand my feelings.
Again, I am trying to understand my feelings.
Feelings can be confusing. Sometimes you feel happy, sometimes sad, sometimes both at the same time.
And many people try to ignore their feelings. They think, I should not feel this way.
But feelings are not wrong. They're signals. They are messages from inside you.
So instead of ignoring them, you can learn to listen.
I remember a time when I didn't understand my own emotions. I would feel upset, but I didn't know why, so I would just distract myself.
I used to do the same. I thought ignoring feelings would make them go away.
But they don't go away. They just stay quiet, waiting to be heard.
And when you finally listen, something changes. You begin to understand yourself more.
Let's build a small reflection. I am learning about myself. I am trying to understand my feelings.
Now let's explore another important part, being honest with yourself.
You can say, I am honest with myself.
Try it slowly. I am honest with myself.
Being honest means you don't pretend everything is okay when it's not. It means you accept your truth, even when it's uncomfortable.
For example, you can say, I feel tired today. I feel sad sometimes. I feel confused.
And that's okay.
Because honesty is the first step to healing.
Let's connect this. I am honest with myself. I allow myself to feel.
That sentence gives you permission to be human.
There was a time when I thought I always had to be strong. I didn't allow myself to feel weak or sad.
But always being strong is exhausting.
Yes, and I realized something important. Strength is not about hiding your feelings. It's about accepting them.
Let's learn another sentence. It's okay to feel this way.
Say it slowly. It's okay to feel this way.
This sentence can calm your mind when your emotions feel overwhelming.
Now let's move into something very meaningful. Self-respect.
Self-respect means you value yourself. You treat yourself with care. You don't allow yourself to be treated badly, even by your own thoughts.
You can say, I respect myself.
Again, I respect myself.
This doesn't mean you think you are perfect. It means you believe you deserve respect, just like anyone else.
And this also includes setting boundaries.
Yes, boundaries are very important. They protect your energy, your peace, your time.
You can say, I choose what is good for me.
Or, I say no when I need to.
These sentences are simple but very strong.
I remember a time when I said yes to everything, even when I was tired, even when I didn't want to.
Because you didn't want to disappoint others.
Exactly, but in doing that, I was disappointing myself.
And when you started saying no,
I felt guilty at first, but slowly I felt free.
because you were respecting yourself.
Let's build another reflection. I respect myself. I choose what is good for me. I say no when I need to.
Now, let's talk about something very gentle, being present.
Many times we live in the past, thinking about mistakes, or in the future, worrying about what will happen.
But self-love also means being here in this moment.
You can say, I am here in this moment.
Say it slowly. I am here in this moment.
This sentence brings you back to now.
And when you're present, you feel calmer.
You notice your breath, your surroundings, your thoughts without judgment.
I started practicing this slowly, just sitting quietly and noticing my breathing.
And how did it feel?
At first, my mind was busy, but slowly, I felt peaceful, like everything became softer.
That's the power of being present.
Let's connect everything into a deeper self-expression. I am learning about myself. I am honest with my feelings. I respect myself and I choose what is good for me. I am here in this moment.
That's not just English practice. That's self-awareness.
And self-awareness leads to self-love.
Because when you understand yourself, you stop judging yourself so harshly.
You begin to accept, to care, to grow.
Let's take a slow pause again.
And ask yourself gently.
What do I feel right now?
No right answer, no wrong answer.
Just honesty.
Because your feelings matter.
Your thoughts matter.
And you matter.
Not because you are perfect.
But because you are human.
And being human means growing.
Learning.
Understanding.
Slowly learning to love yourself from the inside out.
There's a very gentle shift that happens when you start understanding yourself. You begin to feel a little more peaceful. Not all the time, not perfectly, but in small, quiet moments.
Yes, it's like the noise inside your mind becomes softer. The constant pressure, the constant judgment, it slowly starts to fade.
And in that space, something new grows. Not just acceptance, but care.
Care for yourself, the same kind of care you give to others, but now you turn it inward.
Let's begin with a simple sentence. I take care of myself.
Say it slowly. I take care of myself.
This sentence may sound simple, but it carries deep meaning because taking care of yourself is not just about big actions.
It's about small, everyday choices. The way you rest, the way you speak to yourself, the way you treat your body and your mind.
You can also say, I listen to what I need.
Again, I listen to what I need.
Sometimes you need rest. Sometimes you need silence. Sometimes you need space.
And sometimes you just need to slow down.
I remember a time when I ignored my own needs. I kept going, working, thinking, without stopping.
And what happened?
I felt tired all the time, not just physically, but emotionally, like I had no energy left.
That happens when we forget to care for ourselves.
Yes, and when I started listening to myself, even in small ways, things began to change.
Let's connect these ideas. I take care of myself. I listen to what I need.
Now let's move into something very important, how you speak to yourself every day.
Because your inner voice, the voice in your mind, is always there. It speaks quietly, but it affects everything.
You can choose how that voice sounds.
You can say, I speak kindly to myself.
Try it slowly. I speak kindly to myself.
At first, this may feel difficult because many people are used to speaking harshly to themselves.
But you can change that, one sentence at a time.
Instead of saying, I'm not good at this,
You can say, I'm learning.
instead of saying, I always fail,
You can say, I'm improving.
these small changes, they create a big difference.
I started doing this slowly. Every time I noticed a negative thought, I paused and changed it.
Was it easy?
No, not at first, but over time it became natural.
Because your mind learns from repetition.
Let's build another reflection. I take care of myself. I listen to what I need. I speak kindly to myself.
Now let's talk about something deeper, believing in yourself.
This can feel challenging because sometimes you don't fully believe in yourself yet.
And that's okay. Belief doesn't have to be strong in the beginning. It can be small, quiet, growing slowly.
You can say, I am learning to believe in myself.
Say it slowly. I am learning to believe in myself.
Notice again the word learning. It removes pressure. It gives you space.
Because belief is not something you force. It's something you build.
I remember when I didn't believe in myself at all. I thought, I can't do this. I'm not capable.
What changed?
I started small. I completed simple tasks, spoke small sentences, and slowly I saw progress.
And that created belief.
Yes, because belief comes from experience, from trying, from continuing.
Let's connect this. I am learning to believe in myself. I am growing step by step.
Now let's explore another important part, appreciating yourself.
Many people wait for others to appreciate them, to say you did well, to recognize their effort.
But self-love also means appreciating yourself.
You can say, I am proud of myself.
Say it slowly. I am proud of myself.
This sentence may feel difficult at first, but you don't need a big reason to say it.
You can be proud of small things.
Like trying, like learning, like not giving up.
I remember the first time I felt proud of myself for something small. It wasn't a big achievement, but it meant something to me.
And that feeling, it stays with you.
Because it reminds you your effort matters.
Let's build a gentle affirmation. I am proud of myself. I am doing my best.
Now let's bring everything together into a calm, flowing self-expression. I take care of myself. I listen to what I need. I speak kindly to myself. I am learning to believe in myself, and I'm proud of my effort.
That's not just language, that's transformation.
Let's slow down again. Take a quiet breath.
And just sit with this feeling.
You don't have to rush your journey.
You don't have to prove anything.
You don't have to be perfect.
You just have to continue, gently, honestly.
Because loving yourself is not one big moment.
It's many small moments.
The way you rest,
The way you think,
the way you forgive.
the way you care,
And slowly, all these moments come together.
and create something strong.
A quiet confidence.
A calm belief
A gentle understanding.
that you are worthy,
Not because of what you achieve.
but because of who you are.
And that is where self-love truly begins. There's something very gentle, almost invisible that happens when you continue this journey. You don't suddenly become a completely different person. You don't wake up one day and feel perfect, but something inside you becomes softer.
Yes, softer, calmer, and more understanding. You begin to notice that the voice inside your mind is no longer as harsh as before. It still speaks, but now it sounds kinder.
And that's the real change. Not outside, but inside.
Because loving yourself is not about becoming someone new, it's about returning to who you truly are, without fear, without judgment.
Let's sit with that for a moment. You don't need to become perfect. You don't need to fix everything.
You just need to accept, understand, and care for yourself, step by step.
Let's begin with a simple sentence, one that brings everything together. I'm learning to love myself every day.
Say it slowly. I am learning to love myself every day.
That phrase, every day, is important because this is not a one-time decision. It's a daily practice.
Some days will feel easy. You'll feel confident, calm, clear.
And some days will feel heavy. You might doubt yourself again, feel tired or lost.
But even on those days, you can still choose one small act of kindness towards yourself.
Maybe it's speaking gently to yourself.
Maybe it's taking a break.
Maybe it's simply saying,
It's okay. I'm trying.
let's learn that sentence. It's okay. I'm trying.
Again, it's okay. I'm trying.
That sentence can comfort you in difficult moments.
Now, let's go deeper into something very meaningful. Trusting yourself.
You can say, I trust myself.
Say it slowly. I trust myself.
This may feel difficult at first because maybe you've doubted yourself for a long time.
But trust doesn't appear suddenly. It grows slowly through small actions.
Every time you try, every time you continue, every time you don't give up.
You build trust.
I remember when I didn't trust my decisions. I always looked for someone else to guide me, to tell me what to do.
And what changed?
I started listening to myself more, even in small choices. And slowly, I realized I can trust my own voice.
That's powerful.
Let's connect this. I trust myself. I listen to my inner voice.
Now let's talk about something very emotional. Letting go of the past.
Many people carry their past with them like a weight. Old mistakes, old regrets, old pain.
And sometimes it feels hard to move forward.
But self-love also means letting go, slowly, gently.
You can say, I am letting go of the past.
Say it slowly. I am letting go of the past.
This doesn't mean forgetting everything.
It means you choose not to carry it forever.
You learn from it and move forward.
Let's build a deeper reflection. I forgive myself. I am letting go of the past. I am moving forward.
Now, let's bring everything together into one final, calm, meaningful self-expression. Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm on my own journey, and I'm learning to love myself every day. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying my best. I trust myself, and I'm growing step by step. I forgive myself for my past, and I'm moving forward with hope.
And here's mine. Hi, I'm Emma. I'm learning to accept and love myself. I take care of myself and I listen to what I need. I'm proud of my effort and I'm growing every day. I trust myself and I'm becoming more confident in who I am.
These are not just introductions.
They are reflections of self-love.
And maybe as you listen, something inside you feels a little lighter.
Maybe you feel a little more understanding, a little more patient with yourself.
And that's enough.
You don't need to rush this journey.
You don't need to have all the answers.
You just need to keep going, gently, honestly.
One thought at a time.
One sentence at a time.
One small act of kindness at a time.
And slowly you'll notice something beautiful.
You'll start to feel at home within yourself.
And when that happens, you won't need to search for acceptance outside.
Because you'll have created it within.
So before you leave, take one quiet moment and say this to yourself.
I am learning to love myself.
And mean it even just a little.
Because that's where everything begins.
If this conversation made you feel something, even a small connection,
Write a sentence about yourself in the comments. It can be simple. It could be honest. Just try.
and if you want more calm, simple English conversations like this,
Subscribe to Calm English Talks and continue this journey with us.
your voice matters.
And so do you.